Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. This is a special edition of the program. Just literally moments ago of recording this, HB442 passed the Senate. It passed, and also an amendment that was stuck onto it that would ban shrimp trawling on inside waters here in North Carolina. It too passed. Now, what I thought would be fun to do is let you see the sausage being made. I went and recorded the Senate committee meeting, and I want you to see the senators as they're talking about the bill and what the pros and the cons. And sometimes you're going to yell and scream, going, "You're kidding me! You said that? I don't believe it." Whether you're a recreational or commercial fisherman, both of you are going to be saying that. But let's get into the actual meeting itself. Now, I'll tell you this, there was 17 people signed up to speak. They only let 2, I think it was, speak, I guess because of time. So let's go take a look at the sausage being made, and then we're going to take a look at the finished product.
Okay, House Bill 442, Restore Flounder and Red Snapper Season. Representative Eiler, if you want to come up and just give us we do know we have an amendment on this bill, but if you want to come up and just briefly walk through your part of it, it'd be great.
Right this minute, it's the whole bill, but apparently it may be some effort to change it. North Carolina, of course, there's no flounder season in particular last year. North Carolina has the strictest limits from Maine to Texas. And then I think after an uproar, they put in a 4-day season possibly. But again, all this does is say they have to have a 6-week season for flounder. Economic impact by one source of the recreational fishing industry on our coast and in our state is $2 billion with a B. And the commercial impact, because all these visitors and tourists and all the things they do and money they spend, the commercial industry supposedly has a $200 million impact. That's about 1/10. Our recreational fishermen in Brunswick County go about 10 miles, put their boat in at Little River, South Carolina, or charter, take the catch back to their cooler in the car and bring them into North Carolina. I'm told that's legal. We're catching dozens by accident and releasing them, and some of them are counted as dead fish, even though they're released. What we're asking is a 6-week season to be determined by marine fisheries, and all the other limits apply, and it'd be 1 fish per person per day. I've been told people in West North Carolina get to the Gulf or other states easier than to get to North Carolina coast. One guy said he's tired of buying 4 licenses a year to fish in other states. So and I've had a big uproar once there was no season in 24 on the coast. And so I think the people generally are behind this, not just people that live on the coast and do business. Some of them may go out of business, but some of the people that live in the western part of the state would like to come down and be able to catch flounder in North Carolina. That's the gist of the bill as it stands.
Thank you, Representative Eisler. Okay, Senator Craven.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to amend the bill.
Okay, as the members have a copy of your amendment on the dashboard, it's up there now, I think. Okay, all right, explain your amendment, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, this amendment will put a prohibition on inshore shrimp trawling and shrimp trawling within a ½ mile of the shoreline of the entire North Carolina coast. This puts us on par with our neighboring states in Virginia and South Carolina. As many of you know, there's bycatch that comes with the shrimp trawling. It is estimated that for every pound we harvest of shrimp, 4 pounds of bycatch, which is a lot of other species of fish that's getting caught in the net, the potentially dying, having issues after. This has been an issue for quite some time, and I think it's time this body addressed it. I'll entertain any questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Craven. Before we get into that, I just realized I had a sheet full of pages here. And I apologize, pages, I got buried under all my other paperwork. If you would, wherever you're at, please stand and introduce yourself. And he'll pass the mic along so we can hear you.
Good morning. My name is Ian House, and I am from Cary, and I am sponsored by Senator Adcock. Hi, my name is Alana Hemby. I'm from Wendell, NC, and I'm sponsored by Senator Mayfield.
Hi, I'm Peter Kraft. I'm from Greensboro, and I'm sponsored by Senator Robinson.
Hi, I'm Mylene Zyka. I'm from Jamestown, North Carolina, and I'm sponsored by Senator Berger.
Hi, I'm Ria Badada. I'm from Cary, North Carolina, and I'm sponsored by Senator Adcock.
Okay. Thank you, Pages, and I hope you enjoy the week. You've picked a good week to be here because there's a lot of action be going on in committees, and hopefully you get a chance to see your member that sponsored you, and hopefully you can teach them a few things because we all need to learn a few more things, I have decided, from our younger crowd. So thank y'all for being with us. All right, with the amendment back before us, discussion. Senator Haney.
Mr. Chairman, I have a series of questions, if I may.
Sure.
The first question would be, currently, as everyone understands, there is a lawsuit between the CCA and the Wildlife Federation that is in the process. Why are we not waiting to see the results of this lawsuit before we make these changes?
Okay. Senator Craven.
Happy to defer to staff on that, Mr. Chair.
I don't. Kyle, you're pulling for the microphone. Have at it.
Mr. Chair, I'd just say that we couldn't speak to why the General Assembly is deciding to make this move at this time. That's more a policy decision that this body makes. I will say that the General Assembly has in the past enacted legislation relating to court cases before the result of those cases.
We have. Okay, thank you. Senator Haney, carry on.
Thank you. In 2022, we commissioned a study to address this very issue. Why are we not waiting for the results of the study? Why the urgency all of a sudden and at the 23rd hour?
Senator Craven.
Senator Hannig, I believe we are putting things in place here so that we can move forward. And the study that is out there, I think, has showed that there is a lot of Representative Eiler in this bill. The study more addresses that line, and I think there's abundance of fish and their provisions are intact.
Okay. Carry on.
Is the members of this committee aware that recreational charters trawl and that recreational charters trawl shrimp as a charter? Anyone aware of that? And how do we address that issue? Anyone?
Senator Craven.
Mr. Chair, I think they would have to abide by the same outlines addressed here that would not be legal once this bill is enacted. Thank you.
Okay. Senator Haney. Haney.
What data was used to support this amendment to put the hardworking men and women that work in our fishing industry every day out of a job and completely shut down an entire industry? 75% of the shrimp that are caught in the state of North Carolina are caught where this amendment is affected. Can someone please help me with that?
Okay, Senator Craven.
Mr. Chair, I'll say it's not the intent of anybody to put anybody out of business. I believe they can go out, these fine folks can trawl a half mile off the coast of North Carolina, continue to shrimp. And I do say, Mr. Chair, I know you have worked on this as a separate matter of ensuring there is compensation during that time to make sure that we get these folks transitioned and understand that they will have a process to move through from doing what they do on a daily basis now to kind of moving and changing into going out into the coastal waters. Thank you.
You're welcome. Senator,
If I may, Mr.
one
Chairman.
more.
I've got a list,
Well,
if I may.
I'm gonna give you one more, and then I'm gonna move to some other
Well-
members. If we have time, we'll come back.
Well, then I'm going to make a statement, if I may, then.
Go for it.
In response to what Senator Craven said in his opening remarks, the 4-to-1 bycatch ratio was given to the Coastal Fisheries Reform Group in 2012 by former DMF Director Louis Daniel, who now works for the North Carolina Wildlife Federation. You heard me, right? When questioned on the record at a meeting of North Carolina Wildlife Fisheries Commission in August of 2013, Dr. Daniel all but apologized for producing this estimate, stating he was under extremely heavy pressure to come up with a number. And the estimate on average, whatever it was, but it's not a good estimate. So he all but apologized for what he said. Since that time, in 2012, Dr. Daniel also sent a letter attached to Mr. Joe Albia of the Coastal Fisheries Reform Group, disputing many of the claims that he had made on their website and letters to the General Assembly regarding shrimp management in North Carolina. Since 2013, the Marine Fisheries Commission has implemented several measures to reduce bycatch in the shrimp trawl fishery. In June of 2015, all fish trawls and skimmer trawls were required to have 2 bycatch reduction devices installed, a requirement no other state has. In 2019, shrimp trawls were used in Pamlico Sound and its tributaries, where the 2009 study was conducted. We're required to use one of the 4 gear combinations that were tested and shown to reduce fin bycatch by at least 40% and as much as 57% above the current reductions that have already been achieved. Now, 70% of the fin fish that enter a fish trawl are assumed to escape. No other state can make that claim. I'm not finished, Mr. Chairman.
You might be, but go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you not to seek a ban on inshore shrimp trawling. This bill started out as a great step forward, one that restored reasonable access to flounder for both rec and commercial fisheries. This bill comes from progress, cooperation, and long overdue relief from closures derived from flawed science and outdated rules that hurt both industries. Throwing in this trawling ban at the 23rd hour undermines the intent and spirit of the bill. It reeks of the same old sleazy, backroom politics and special interest that caused North Carolina endless fish wars. These taxes do nothing but cause division and disgust and disdain, helping no one and hurting far too many. We have the best seafood industry in the world, and instead of propping it up, we're destroying it. Yes, we are destroying it. Again, 75% of the shrimp that are caught under this amendment cannot be caught any longer. This is not hyperbole. This is not fear-mongering. Just ask the thousands of hardworking, independent people that work in this industry every day and have for generations and kept their heritage and their way of life. Don't let this amendment stop our progress toward a better, more sustainable fishery. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Haney. Senator Rabin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think there's some folks here with us today that can answer and address some of the concerns. They may be speaking at a later time, but you may, or this committee may want to use them as a resource to ask a question. They're back here, probably on both sides of the issue. I'd like to address that.
That was my intentions, to have as many speakers as we have. Any further questions from the committee? Senator Mayfield.
Yeah, just quickly, and because I do want to hear from folks who are here. It seems to me that both the original bill and the amendment are taking what should be collaborative, scientifically based decisions out of that realm. And I'm always worried about this body overruling, for instance, the Marine Fisheries Commission on the flounder and the snapper. And, you know, I've just done a little bit of reading. We have a whole shrimp management plan. We have a shrimp working group that's been together for years, working on a whole number of, consistently and constantly improving the regulations around, particularly around trawling and bycatch. And there are many parts of some parts of our intercoastal waterways that are not open to trawling. So I just put that out there as a general concern. This is obviously a very complicated and difficult issue, but that's my concern.
Okay, thank you, Senator Mayfield. Senator Settle.
I heard Representative Aller mention from Maine to Texas, and but my question is, what are the boundaries for trawling in Virginia and South Carolina?
I do not know that information. Does someone in the audience? Well, Senator Rabin.
This bill would align us. This bill would be identical with the trawling regulations in South Carolina and in Virginia, which is 1 mile 1/2 mile offshore. It would be one continuous line from 1 mile out to the 3-mile limit, and beyond that, that is federal. But and we already have some inlets that are closed in North Carolina. But the gist of this bill, I think everyone is hung up on the shrimping, is not the shrimping, it's the damage that we do to the sounds and to the bottom. North Carolina has the second largest estuary in the East Coast, the largest being the Chesapeake Bay. Ours is number 2. It's a huge body if you ever happen to fly over it. And the good that will come out of this, or can come out of this potentially, is the recovery of the croaker, of the spot, not only the flat that uses our sound as a nursery. We can't even build docks in places because they're primary nurseries, but we can go out and we can destroy the bottom of the second largest estuary in the nation. And the people that are doing this that come from other states can't do it in their state. They can come to North Carolina without shame and destroy our habitat. They can go home and enjoy their habitat. So if we want to enjoy a healthy sound, we have to go somewhere that this has already been initiated. It's long overdue, and I really, it hurts me. I was in the commercial fishing business. It hurts me to know that some people are going to be affected negatively by this, but the crabbers and the oystermen and the other fishermen are going to be positively, because for every action there's a reaction. The shrimpers can go outside, they get more money for their fish, for their shrimp. On a per pound basis, the shrimp are of a better quality because they're larger. And it is absolutely common sense. This is just an archaic thing that we have allowed to happen. It's going to take a lot of fortitude for people to stand up and say, I don't like it, but it is the best policy. And at the end of the day, our challenge here is good policy, not friendships and friends at home. I have friends at home that are in this business, and I have spoken with them.
Okay. Thank you, Senator Ravens. Chairman Sanderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of comments. I don't want to take up time that the people who are here to talk about this issue that are in this business from them, but I do want to make a couple of comments. Take it from somebody who has both worked with shrimp nets and other kinds of trawling nets. A shrimp net, by its very nature, does not disturb the bottom because it's extended up off the bottom, because shrimp are migratory creatures and they don't stay on the bottom. They're up in the upper parts of the water body, whatever they're in. Now, if this is a crab trawl, that's what does disturb the bottom, because you pull a chain in front of the bottom, you make the crabs jump up off the bottom so that the net can scoop them up. But not a shrimp trawl. It's like a big parachute that's pulled behind the boat. It's designed for the doors to keep it open, to keep it on top of the water, and to keep it so that it catches the shrimp who migrate out of the rivers and sounds into the ocean. To another point, probably 50 to 60%, and the people that are here to speak about this who do this for a living can correct me, probably 50 to 60% of the people who make their living shrimping and provide the shrimp for our restaurants and all up and down the coast, their boats are not and can never be converted over to offshore trolling because they're just too small. You can't do it. And so that is that is part of the equation. And so we are not going to be able, with no amount of compensation, is going to be able to take the place of a job. I can't believe that we're talking, because I don't think we've fully examined the total overall cost of the restaurants in North Carolina that serve fresh, local caught shrimp. And shrimp is the most wanted item on any menu that serves seafood. And yet we're getting ready to take that opportunity away from 95% of the population in this state, because most of us don't have any way to go out and harvest our own seafood. We have to depend on commercial fishermen to do it for us, and then we just go and buy it. But right now, 90% of the seafood that we consume in this nation is purchased from offshore countries. And out of that 90%, over half of it is raised in ponds. And if you want to understand what ponds do to fresh seafood, it's it's dangerous to even allow our restaurants who don't let people know where their seafood comes from. They're being dishonest with the consumers, with the customers, because they're not telling them they brought this from Chile or this shrimp come from Mexico out of ponds. And they have a new way to test shrimp that can tell them very quickly whether or not they're wild caught or not. And it's because of the poison that's inside the shrimp. Because when they're in ponds, they feed them stuff that makes them grow faster, and they're not good for human consumption, and the taste is totally different. And we have people that come to the coast of North Carolina for our beaches and for our seafood. And we're getting ready, and I just can't understand why this bill has been pushed through so quickly, and we haven't given people and the citizens of this state who own these resources an opportunity to make comments on them about what way they would like to see it done. So I'll just stop there. I could keep right on going, but I'll stop.
So that's the sausage being made. Again, there were 17 people that signed up to speak. I know that I can recall 2 did speak during this committee hearing, and they did not hear anybody else. They went straight on into, let's vote on this thing. Let's vote on House Bill 442. Let's vote on this amendment to ban inshore trawling in North Carolina. Let's see what happens.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion on the amendment. I have a motion from Senator Bill Rabon, a second. Senator Meisner, did I get it right that time? I'm getting better. Okay. We have a motion. Any discussion on the amendment that we've not already had? Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. No. In the eye of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment is passed. Now do I have a motion for the bill as a whole? Senator Rabon moves for House Bill 442. Move that House Bill 442 as amended be rolled into a new committee substitute, and that the committee substitute be given a favorable report, unfavorable to the original bill with referral to the Senate rules. Is that what you said, Senator Rabon? I thought so. Do I have a second? Have a second from Senator Craven or Senator Settle, either one. They both nodded. Any discussion on the bill as a whole? Seeing none, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. No. Ayes have it. Thank you, members. This meeting is adjourned.
There you have it. HB 442 passed. The amendment to ban inshore trawling in North Carolina passed. Again, I thought it'd be fun for you to see the sausage being made instead of me sitting here and saying this, that, and the other thing, which really, who cares? It doesn't matter. You saw everything. That is it. That was the final meeting. It passed. So let the games begin. Let people start saying what they want to say about all of this. HB 442 and the amendment to ban inshore trawling has passed. I'm Bill Hitchcock. Until next time, thank you for watching this special edition.